Hi, this is Mark Wagner, and today we're going to speak about polarity. Polarity is the simple idea that all opposites are reconciled. All opposites are fundamentally the same, only experienced at different degrees of the spectrum. For example, you cannot know hot if not relative to cold. Both are different degrees of the spectrum of what we call temperature. Likewise, this is beautifully represented in the Eastern philosophy of Taoism and its symbol of the yin and the yang. Always intertwined, you cannot have the yin without the yang. And you find this in absolutely all aspects of life. All human qualities, you cannot know how generous you are if not relative to how tight or stingy you are. You cannot know happiness if not relative to sadness, agony if not relative to ecstasy, good if not relative to bad. And so, the whole purpose of the human experience, the embodied experience, is a relative experience. We come here so that we can experience, and we can only experience because of polarity, because of relativity. Unity cannot experience since it is simultaneously everything at once, and so it needs to create a space for polarity, a space for duality, a space in which it can experience love by virtue of its opposite, or perceived opposite, hate or fear. And so everything simultaneously comes with those two qualities, and it's our free will, our choice, our experience to weave those two qualities, or to surf, if you want, somewhere in between those two qualities. It's as if it were a big soup with a central vortex in its middle, which constantly is mixing the polarities, mixing those two qualities, and as the cook of our experiences, we get to pick how much ingredients, how much hot, how much cold, how much generosity, how much tightness we want to put in the mix at that particular moment. But in no case can we ever get rid of one side of the polarity. That is fundamentally part of the experience, just like the yin and the yang. Very often we still adopt this Manichaean type of outlook, this Manichaean type of thinking, where we like to perceive ourselves and the world as either good or bad, as either this or that, whereas really it's always both at the same time. In spirituality, you get this sort of quest to return to unity, to return to a state of wholeness, but unity is really just duality embraced. Unity is embracing both sides of the polarity, the yin and the yang, the good and the bad, the up and the down. And as we've seen in previous talks, you create through your inner vibrations whatever comes to you as an outside experience. And so this idea of wanting to see only certain qualities, generally the positive qualities of ourselves, so we imagine ourselves to be only generous, we imagine ourselves to be only good, because we would really rather not look at what we perceive as negative qualities of ourselves, we end up repressing our inner stinginess, our inner greed, our inner all the multitude of negative or so-called negative qualities that we might ascribe, and those end up appearing in our experience as the things that we see on the outside, the politicians, the news, the this, the that. But really, if we were to embrace our inner polarity, our inner duality, we would have a much more complete and a much more sincere experience of life. I am simultaneously good and simultaneously bad, rather than one or the other. I truly believe humanity is now slowly but surely, or even rather rapidly at this point, going towards a new paradigm where we do posit the world as being ands rather than ors. I am simultaneously generous and stingy, rather than generous or stingy. This creates a much more genuine and complete picture. And so I hope you enjoyed this talk on polarity. Thank you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.